They'll be calling you a radical, Kevin Blanch. Got a lot of talk about the Pacific Ocean, the Great Pacific Genocide, the 5th anniversary of Fukushima. So I'm going to announce what I'm going to do for the 5th anniversary of Fukushima. So we got a lot of talk about the crab season in Oregon, the liars selling their boats, and the hypnotized, fainting fucking goats. Who counts the money underneath the till? So we're going to talk about what I'm going to do, what I propose for the 5th anniversary, and we'll talk a lot about the death of the Pacific Ocean, the humpbacks that are supposed to be in Hawaii, the grays that are supposed to be migrating to Mexico right now, and the crab season, the salmon fishing, the Great Pacific Genocide that everybody's in denial about, and, you know, mythological? Yeah, I guess. I'll tell you what's mythological. This unicorn economy that we live in, this negative interest rate fairy tale that we live in. So for the 5th anniversary of Fukushima, what I propose and what I'm going to do is it's going to be a moment of meditation. Now, I say that we do it for 11 minutes and 33 seconds. So I'm going to do what I did probably last year, and in the spirit of the Budest monks, he and I have both done events. We're the only ones that have done the events on every anniversary for the nuclear meltdown since it happened. Now, he walks to Diablo Canyon. I walked with him last year. So that's where I'll be, more than likely. I'll be at the Central Coast. We meet up with the great real activists in San Louis Opisbo, and on the 10th. Now remember, it happened here on the 10th, so I'll start posting times around the exact moment. We timed it exactly last year at the gates of Diablo Canyon, which, by the way, the Chumash called that the Mother's Heart. The Spaniards renamed it that because a tsunami hit while they're standing on there. And I'm talking about, did they do it on purpose? You know, tsunami weapons, you know, whatever, mankind and their arrogance. Nuclear's the ultimate arrogance. It doesn't matter. Look, let's build nuclear reactors on the coast of California. Tsunamis and earthquakes happen. They always happen. Do they know they're going to happen? Of course, but they don't care because they're arrogance. They can clean up Fukushima with their nanotechnology. That's John Holdren. So, the crab season. The crab season ended yesterday in Oregon. Now, my whistleblower's up there inside NOAA. Now, get this. They're saying it's a giant cover-up. They're trying to dance and cover it up because it's a catastrophe. You know, everything's dying, but they don't want to hurt the so-called fishing industry. Come drink your beers and eat your cuisine stay in the hotels. I'm a fisherman, what's a boat? I'm a skier, what's a mountain? I'm a surfer, what's water? I'm a carpenter, what's a hammer? I'm an environmentalist, what's Fukushima? So, get this. Now you're going to love this. The San Francisco Chronicle, the lying scumbag fucking rats that they are. The science scumbag fucking rats that they are. They won't post anything about Fukushima. Fukushima's here, she did that, I know her, she'll probably be there. My guess is they'll be there too. So, they post this thing, this kid says he's the new coastal, he was anti-nuclear, fighting Diablo and San Onofre for all those years, this young guy. And now he's formed Save Diablo. And so, let me tell you, I've been at every Diablo hearing for as long as I can remember, and San Onofre. The only people that are ever there are Mothers for Peace. Let me tell you something. On Blue Hearts on Valentine's, when I was there in 2014, that was the public hearing, which should have been a packed house, packed event. No media. There were 2 people there, myself and June from Mothers for Peace. That's it. And remember, I named it Blue Hearts on Valentine's Day before I knew it was called the Mother's Heart, because the Chumash had stepped out of the fray. They had been around forever. They're back. We need them. Oh, do we need them? So, look, these are PR firms. They're paying these rats. And let me tell you rats that go along and do this. You know, you potato chip banana fuckers, you know, nuclear's good. It's fucking climate change is the problem. Well, let me tell you about climate change. Nuclear is climate change. Boil in reactors 410, boil the Earth's water over and over and over. You know what it comes out that steam? Put a pan on your stove. See how hot that steam is. It comes out of the intake and the outtake at Diablo and the rest of the reactors at 20 to 30 degrees hotter than it goes in. You know how much water they suck up a second, a minute? Times that by 410. So, I'm a fisherman. What's a boat? I'm a carpenter. What's a hammer? I'm an anti-climate changer. What's nuclear waste? What's a uranium mine? I was talking to some people from Moab that had been to Moab, and I says, yo, Moab's so great here. And I'm like, yeah, the cancer capital of the world. Well, that's funny because the one guy we go down there tours around, whatever, he's got cancer. There's a uranium mine in Moab that's underground that's been on fire for 80 years. We call it the red dust in Utah. We all know. We all know. So they're lying on the crab fishing. It's a catastrophe. It collapsed. So the humpbacks, get this. The humpbacks are supposed to be in Hawaii starting December 1st. They're still not there. So you got some of these guys that sell. You know, they got their cruise boats. This is their whole industry. So they released an article the other day and said, yeah, they're still not there, but the Coast Guard only lets us go out 3 miles, but we have little PT boats you can pay extra for. And we'll take you out even further. And we found them. Yeah, you might have found a few. It's an ecological catastrophe. So the only reason that anyone knows, anyone on Earth, because Noah, now get this, Noah, who should be, they're supposed to study the ocean, right? Right? They've told me right up. We don't study for radiation. We don't study for Fukushima. Ken Buser's words. He'll agree with that with me. So Noah's got a new study they're sponsoring for these people to understand the disease that's killing the orcas. But don't study radiation. Stand down. Colorado State, the Salazar that was going to be the head of the Obama team, environmental, that's the Colorado State, bought and paid for. They're getting ready in posture to groom the numbers like they did in Chernobyl. The original number by the UN, and this is a fact, the original number was 4.4 million. Don't forget, they didn't like it, they changed the decimal. So this is the greatest cover-up in human history. So 11 minutes and 33 seconds of meditation at the moment that the earthquake happened. That's when the core's fractured. They can't handle a 7.8 Diablo. We'll be at the gates of Diablo like we were last year, which is the 10th, right as I get off work. And, you know, we chant, and I'll just follow him, and then, you know. So, a worldwide moment of meditation. Now, you know, I like the walking meditation. So, the grays that I know, because I did my walk last year, well, I've done it for 4 years. I've walked up and down the California coast since Fukushima happened, in critical condition, full of AML leukemia. With platelet counts in the 30s, my doctor says you got to be insane, but we're glad you're crazy, because your craziness probably saved your life. So, I got to Monterey Aquarium, old marine biologist, her and her husband were waiting for me. They're like, Kevin, we love the ocean. My son and daughter are both marine biologists at UCLA and at Stanford. They don't care. That's their own children. I said, yeah, they're there for the money. Exactly. But we study the grays, because I'd walked, I hadn't seen any grays. I'm like, where are all the grays at Gorda? I was sleeping, we should see tons of them at Gorda. Just starving to death elephant seals, and seals is all I saw. So, she's like, they're giving birth here in Carmel and in Monterey. I'm like, oh my God. 1,200 miles, 800 miles north of where they should. That's the only reason the world knows this. Because the marine biologists, they're fake, they're phony. They're pieces of shit. You know, they should all do the honorable thing and commit hara-kiri. They're all in the club. This contemporized art club, this contemporized wannabe club, and by the way, you artists in New York City that grew up with art and wealth and you got pushed in and you're an artist. The artist community in New York City right now is nothing but they're interior decorators for oligarchs. You're not fucking artists. I'm here to tell you, you're not fucking artists. S.A.M.O on balco. What do I think? S.A.M.O representative? Because he never really did say what it meant. Well, I got my theories, what he meant. Statement Against Modern Oligarchs.
is what I call it.
Why do I keep doing this and keep going on? Well, I was given less than 1% chance to live, and a disease that nobody survives. The fight is the life. Oh yeah, right here, that's why. Right here, this is why.